Okay, welcome back. This is part two of arrow making for the SCA or arrow assembly. So now that we have the sanded and bumped or straightened out arrow shafts, we measure the arrow. Usually when you measure, you want to measure the length of your draw plus about uh, maybe 2 inches or so, so that when you pull it back all the way, the tip of the arrow does not go past the uh, your uh, your bow, meaning closer to your body. You want it sticking out just a little bit so that it has a nice straight path to go through, and you don't want any accidents about the tip of the arrow hitting the back of the bow and breaking and stuff like that. Although I've never seen, well, I have actually seen that, but wasn't it was scary but not painful. So I measured this at 30 and a half, 30 inches and a half. So I mark it here. See, I'm measuring. And so I have marks on all of my arrows. Now step number two is to stain them or to color them. You don't have to color them. Some people like the natural one. Speaking of natural, these shafts are cedar. You can get cedar, pine, um, there's many other types of wood that you could use. I advise not going to like a Home Depot or Lowe's or anything and picking up dowels for those. Those are less quality. Those are a little bit they're softer and they tend to break easily. So you don't want to do that. You want to get the higher quality shafts. So what we're going to do now is wait for a helicopter to go by. Very nice. And stain them. So I'm using wood finish stain. It penetrates, stains, and seals. Little advertisement there. And I try to match the color as much as I can. What I do is I use a little rag. Some people use a brush. Some people will dip. There's plastic dippers that you fill up with stain or the epoxy or anything. Not epoxy. The sealant and stuff like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to dip the rag in the stain and then um, cover the bow or the shaft with it. Okay, not too much. You don't want dripping or anything like that. Now see, I made the mark so I know how far have to go. So I have to go at least to that mark. And to make it darker, you put more and more coats on. So this is just the first coat. And I hang it up. I like to just put little clips on there so it kind of stays dry that way. So I'm going to do that with all dozen of my shafts, and I'll see you for part three, which will be putting the knocks on.